concepts before you continue on with the course. Okay, so let's just get started. So the first term is going to be price entry or entry. It's the price you are entering the trade. Before we enter into a trade, before we enter a position, you always want to make sure you understand exactly where your entry price is, the precise price that you're going to be entering the trade. And we're going to be talking about entries and how to pick entries later on, but just understand that entry is when you're entering the trade. PT or price target is where you're aiming to take profits. Okay, so that's just once you enter the trade, you want to take profits at some point. The target price or price target, that's where you're aiming to take your profits. Stop loss, or you could say you'll see a SL. That's the price where you're going to exit the trade if it doesn't go in your favor. So before you enter any sort of trade, you're always going to have a predefined entry price and a predefined stop loss price, right? And maybe you guys have heard of stop losses. Maybe you've heard that they're used to minimize risk, and that's exactly what they're used for. They're used for making sure you don't lose more money than you intend on losing, okay? And for every single trade that you are ever going to place, for every position you're ever going to enter, you are always going to have a predefined stop loss. So just understand a stop loss is the price you're going to exit the position if the trade is going against you, okay? Because you want to minimize your losses. TP is take profit. That's where you're going to be exiting the position for a profit. So now let's go into long and short. So there's two ways to make money in trading, right? It's number one, you could buy a particular asset, stock, a crypto, and it goes up in value, and then you sell it at a higher price. That's when you buy something and it goes up in value and you sell it, right? Everyone knows that. That's called going long. When you go long, you buy, okay? So whenever I say going long or you're gonna go long here, that means you're buying it in hopes to sell it at a higher price, therefore making a profit. Now, a lot of people are not familiar with going short. So going short is the precise opposite of going long. You are going to be making money if the stock or crypto drops in price. So just like you can make money if an asset goes up in value, you can also make money if an asset drops in value. And you're going to do that by going short. If a lot of you are a little confused on exactly, how that works, we're going to get into in a second, but just understand that going long is buying, and going short, well, when you're going short, you're technically selling. We're going to get into that in a sec, but when you're going short, you're making money if the asset drops in price. BTO means buy to open. That's just buying in order to open a position. And STC, it's selling to close the position, meaning selling to exit the position, okay? So those are some key terms that you really need to know. Another one is, I think maybe I actually have it on this guide. But by the way, guys, I have here a beginner trading guide prepared for you. I'm not going to be going over the entire guide. My recommendation is take some time out of your day to read this and to really understand everything. This is super basic information. So if you don't understand this stuff, I probably wouldn't continue on with the rest of the course. So make sure you read this. But another term I frequently use is bullish and bearish. And maybe you guys have heard of those terms if you don't understand what they mean. So whenever I say bullish, right, bullish, that means that there's a lot of buying pressure, right? That word, it's used to describe the market or a stock or a crypto, and it means, having positive market strength, right? So if something is bullish, that means I think it's going to continue higher. There's buying pressure, right? My overall bias on the trade or on the stock or crypto is that it's going to continue higher. So whenever I say something, a stock or crypto looks bullish, what that means is it looks higher. It looks like it's going to continue higher in price. Excuse me. Whenever I say bearish, bear, so there's a bull versus bear. Maybe you guys have, seen stock market movies or Wall Street movies where they talk about the bull versus the bear. That's kind of where these terms are derived from. There's bearish. So bearish, that's when it indicates negative market strength, meaning market weakness, right? It indicates market weakness, where if something is bearish, that means you foresee it continuing lower in price. So whenever I say bearish, it means it's weak. I'm going to probably short it. Whenever it's bullish, I'm most likely going to go long, right? Remember, long is buy, short is, making money when it drops. So if something is bearish, I'm going to look to short it. If something is bullish, I'm going to look to buy it. And that's basically, I think that's most of the terms. Definitely go ahead and read this entire guide. It's pretty useful. It kind of goes over all of the orders. Yeah, just make sure you go over this guide. I'm not going to go through everything today. I'm just trying to see if there's anything specific I really want to emphasize. By the way, guys, if you're confused about going short and like exactly how that works, go ahead and read my explanation here. It'll be very helpful. But just understand that shorting means you're making money if the price drops, if the value of the asset drops. Okay, and I might make a whole separate video when it comes to orders. However, I think I have a really good explanation here on how all the orders work. I don't think I need a separate video for it. So make sure you just understand this entire guide. Make sure you understand these terms that I just mentioned, and you should be good to actually start the course and understand everything I'm saying. So you guys are about to get into the, meat and potatoes of the course. So really excited. Now that you guys have learned these basic terms, you're ready to start. So see you in the next video.